Welcome back. All right, so while there's a lot of drama going on right now at the World Cup, and I'm engrossed in that, I do need to do a news of the day video and basically pace out my day because there's a lot of games coming up tonight. So, starting things off with 2011. Yep, that's why I'm wearing the old Canucks jersey with the word mark over the top. 2011 never really truly dies in this market. So Zdeno Chara was interviewed by Rob Williams, also known as Rob the Hockey Guy, which can cause some confusion. But and again, remember I used the name The Hockey Guy. It was a placeholder. It's like I'll just call the channel The Hockey Guy, and then I'll come up with something else later, and then it stuck. So Chara, when talking about the Canucks from 2011, didn't want to say they were pricks, which I think was stated by Mark Recchi after he retired. Recchi said that the 2011 Canucks were the team he hated the most of any team he ever played. And I think that definitely that led to some of the lopsided scores we saw. That Boston didn't just want to beat them, they wanted to destroy them. Chara saying that he got mad because reports got to him, and he both said that he saw it and that he didn't see it, that the Vancouver Canucks, who were up 2-0 in the series, were seen at Boston's arena, TD Garden, practicing lifting the cup at practice. Now, reporters have stated, look, the practices are all open. Reporters were present. If the Canucks were pretending they were carrying around a Stanley Cup, it would have been all over the place. And also that the report from Chara as well is that the Canucks were calling the NHL and asking, so how many family members can we have on the ice when we win the Stanley Cup? Kevin Bieksa, when contacted, stated none of that happened. It's 100% not true. I agree with Bieksa. The one thing is, the Vancouver Canucks were a cocky team, which is a word that Chara didn't feel that he could use. I'll use it as a Canuck fan. They absolutely were. And it spread to the fans, too, during that era. There was absolutely some sense of, well, this is a team of destiny. We're supposed to win this, so the Stanley Cup's ours. So if the Bruins could just roll over for 4 games, that'll be great. I agree, though, that there's no chance that players would be pretending they're carrying this. Look, hockey players are way too superstitious about that kind of thing. Why was it they wouldn't touch the trophy for winning the conference? Oh, right, because they don't want to lose. You think they want to practice carrying around a Stanley Cup before they've won it? Some players won't touch it before they win it, much less pretend they're carrying it around the ice. So it just goes to show, and the fact that this has hit with so many media people, and there's so many people weighing in on it right now, shows that 2011 is still very much in the fabric of the fan base, of the local media, and it is still, I think, in my lifetime, the most ugly Stanley Cup final we got. I really think that, where the teams by the end of it really hated each other. I'm surprised there was a handshake line. I'm surprised they didn't celebrate and then go off and have a brawl, because really those teams could not stand one another at all. So, let me know in the comment section below, do you think the Canucks carried around a Stanley Cup and pretended they were carrying around a Stanley Cup? Because I really, really, really doubt that happened. I can't see it. I just can't. I think that would have been... And again, if that had happened in 2011, we would have found out about it in 2011, and I might have started a YouTube channel just based on that, which would have just been a video, which would have been about 10 seconds of me just saying, stop it. If you did this, stop it. Don't ever do it again. Bye. That would have been it. That would have been the whole video right there. Would have qualified as a short. So, yesterday's waivers all cleared. So they all cleared, including Kevin Rooney, who's been sent to the AHL by the Calgary Flames. Rooney, it's not been a good start for him with Calgary. Hopefully he gets his game back with the Wranglers. Radim Zohorna called up. So, trying to change things up for Calgary. Of course, Matthew Phillips called up as well. So we'll see how their lineup shakes down. But yeah, for Rooney, it has not been a great transition to Calgary for him, and nobody took him on the waiver wire. Tony DeAngelo, news today, and here's the thing. So Tony DeAngelo's on a point streak, right? The Flyers are losing a lot, and so they want to change up their defense. So Cam York is playing tonight. DeAngelo is a healthy scratch. So I get it. There are defensemen who get all kinds of points, but they still cost you defensively. And I'll just mention a Vancouver example. Jordan Subban, really good offensive instincts, and I watched him in a preseason game where I'm like, wow, those are some pretty good moves. And oh, wait, nope, the puck's in their net. And then that's a good, and oh, the puck's in their net. And that's sort of been the argument with DeAngelo, and this has been the argument for years. Now, it worked in Carolina because he had Jacob Slavin there to back him up. And this is the one question I had when Philly picked him up was, who's going to be his Jacob Slavin? And I don't think Philly has a defenseman that can cover that. There are purely offensive defensemen in the NHL, just like there's purely offensive forwards, and you need that defensive presence on a line with those forwards. You need that defensive partner for a defenseman who plays that way. And so DeAngelo is a healthy scratch tonight, even though he is on a point streak. And so his offense is prominent, but he's also on the ice a lot for goals against. So the Flyers trying to change things up. And yeah, so he's the healthy scratch for tonight. He's going to get back in the lineup, obviously. And in the event that he plays himself into the doghouse for Tortorella, there would definitely be teams that would still be willing to pick him up for that offense. So we'll see. Pierre Engvall has a hearing today for a slash on Dursey. I'm perfectly willing to wait and do this video later. The problem is, if it gets much later, then we're getting into time that the games are going to be on, and sometimes they don't announce the suspension until the games are going. Plus, I don't think Engvall is going to get more than a game. I really honestly think it'll be a game because remember the slash on Burrows that was a game? Yeah, I think this one's going to be a game too. The fact that Dursey jumped up and was okay, the fact that Engvall got thrown out of the game, I think this all adds up. It'll probably just be a game for him. The Leafs have called up Joey Anderson, not because of Engvall, but because of the injury to Nick Robertson. Robertson with an injured shoulder. So it has been one misstep after another, which I do not blame Robertson for, but he has not been able to find his way into the Toronto lineup on a consistent basis, and now he's injured. The timeline for this, it's going to be a while, is all we're saying. There's a lot of injuries right now where they're just saying, it'll be a while. Yeah, we know. What kind of a while are we looking at? So anyways, Robertson's shoulder injury means Joey Anderson gets called up. Anderson, I was impressed with at times when he was a New Jersey Devil, and we'll see how he does playing for Toronto. It's kind of a shame that he didn't play against his brother Mikey Anderson in LA last night, but at any rate, Joey's been called up now. Matthew Joseph is on the shelf too. He's out for 2 weeks. It's a lower body injury for him. The Ottawa Senators trying to turn the season around. That won't necessarily help. Joseph, good defensive forward mostly, with some offensive instincts as well. And so those guys are missed when they're not in the lineup. Sadly, also not to play in the lineup tomorrow for the Carolina Hurricanes, Sebastian Aho will not be playing against Sebastian Aho. I feel like I've been robbed here. Sebastian Aho versus Sebastian Aho. You know, at some point in time in their careers, they have to have a hit with one on the other. Or something has to happen in a game where we can say, I thought that hit on Sebastian Aho by Sebastian Aho's got to play smarter than that. And I think it's on Sebastian Aho to be a better player. And really, for Sebastian Aho, I don't know how he's going to live that down. But Sebastian Aho is a great player. We don't get that moment. We just don't. It's the Saskatchewan Roughriders of the NHL, and I want it. It's a thing that I want. I want to be able to stand here after a game and go, Sebastian Aho had a great game. Better than Sebastian Aho anyways, and I can't. So he's out versus the Islanders, and we can't have nice things. The other option, of course, would be to have Sebastian Aho from the Islanders traded to Carolina and just break their broadcast crew. Although, when we had two Greg Adams in Vancouver, you just refer to one as Gus, the other one is Greg C. Adams, and the confusion was by the wayside. So odds are they'd go with their middle names and go from there. But anyways, yeah, he's to miss tomorrow's game. It sounds like it's just day-to-day. It's nothing major. Not in practice today or yesterday, and so he's going to miss tomorrow's game. Orlov is in a regular jersey at practice for the Capitals. However, he has not been cleared yet, and he's not likely to play over the next few days. But the fact that he's not in a no-contact jersey is good. It's a good sign. And so for Washington, they need to get healthier. They're back to the NHL 500 mark. They're not that far out of the playoffs. And with Orlov coming back, and if they can get some other guys back too, like Wilson and Backstrom both skating right now, their timeline is still, in terms of a return, unknown. But the fact that Wilson, Backstrom have started skating, Orlov's in a regular jersey, you can see that the Capitals are starting to get healthier, and that should help them be better as well, especially when they get Wilson back. So for St. Louis as well, injury issues with them. Krug returns tomorrow. Buchnevich, it's unknown about whether or not he's going to return tomorrow. It's to be evaluated before the game, according to Coach Greg Berube. So getting Krug back will help. Buchnevich getting back would help as well, and we'll see what happens. But there you go. News of the day video for all you fine people as I witness overtime at the World Cup, and it's always entertaining. It is the one sport where I'm okay with penalty shots, because otherwise you'd have a game go on for like, I don't know, 3-4 days. You could have a game of soccer. I know people want to call it football, but I'm North American. And it rightfully is soccer. But you could see a game go on for that long. It could go on forever, really. So anyways, there you go. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.